All right, folks, we're back once again. Hello, and I guess we are waiting for just the players to ready up.
Yeah, I guess so.
If you have not seen, by the way, we have updated our events list for May. I just want to note that the BTSLs may actually change days still, and those are not entirely locked in. But we have most of the events for the month set up. So if you're curious about what's going on after DreamHack, go to the top of the Twitch page, click on the events tab, and you'll get a pretty clear view at everything we have set up for BTSLs, for Olimoleagues, for TvT, house party stuff, etc., etc.
Nugget comes in and just runs immediately to the hammock. Well, like F you to my attempt.
Is that her place now?
I guess so. It's like she knew I was gonna try and pet her, so she was like,
"No,
I don't want to be pet. I'm just gonna run past you real quick, like."
Well, then you just gotta teach her that the hammock equals cuddles.
That's the toll, I guess.
Yeah. All right, folks. Game number 1 in a brand new best of 5. Winner of this goes on to fight against Hurricane in the grand finals. In the bottom right, though, he's actually been looking pretty good at TvT, ladies and gentlemen. The blue Terran Ryung.
In the top left, as the red Terran, it is GuMiho. TvT, PvP, TvT.
TvP. Oh, wow. Was that a boss kill? That was a boss kill. Nexikuro. Oh, you can't bring those types of numbers in here. Oh, it wasn't quite a boss kill, actually. 1 health remains. 666. What being burritos? Wait,
Plague.
Why being burritos when you can plague?
I think he meant bring.
Maybe. And then Darius just snipes it. What a dick.
Sniped. Yep.
Shout out to Darius. Looking forward to see you this weekend at Austin, buddy. I think it's gonna be some fun times.
Someone finally noticing the lack of Zerg in the round of 8. We don't talk about that. Zerg just aren't talking about in Korea at all. Nah, it is not, just a, coincidence. Like they were, slots 9 through 12 or something. Like Zerg just have not been doing very well. Borderline also not signing up, so it's not complete balance wine here for Korea. But
actually, I do want to actually talk about this specific topic, though. So, for example, a lot of you guys might be thinking, well, hey, Rifkin, you've mentioned a couple times the whole part of signing Biol and sponsoring Biol was you're supposed to play in more of your guys' events. Like, that's a Zerg player who should be here and around. But what's kind of interesting, and this is like a real first world problem for the Koreans, is they've actually had a lot of trouble splitting their tournament attention. For example, speaking with Solar, he's actually, like, I really like Solar, and I will always go above and beyond to try and make sure players never have to, like, cancel on our events if we can reschedule and accommodate everybody, right? Which is why we moved the BTSL finals, right? And Solar has just been super stressed out because he's playing in everything. There's the SSL Challenger, there's SSL Premier, you've got the Olimoleague stuff, you've got the GSL, you've got the VSL. Like, these guys are actually super overloaded with events, and I know specifically speaking to Solar and... Ooh, wow. I don't know how that got a shot. Over Ryung.
Ryung must have just moved, not have to move.
Yeah, sorry, to finish up my point, though, really quick, because this might actually get out of hand now because there's no wall at the top. These guys have just not... They don't have the time to play all the tournaments that they want to, even.
Yeah, yo, this is actually a really big problem. That's not a cyclone on the way out. That's just another Hellion.
Yeah, this might be game over because of the 2 Reapers.
Game over? Oh,
yeah,
my
GG.
God, it doesn't happen anymore. Oh.
It doesn't. That's the thing, though. This really doesn't happen. This is something we talk about happening. This is something we talk about how this could get bad and dangerous, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I can't believe that wasn't a cyclone on the way. Dangerous. That's danger territory. And this is Nugget territory.
Are we getting to Kitty Cat Town? Yes, we are. Hey, Nugget. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, so that was like a fast game 1. Honestly, like, whatever for that. It can happen. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. This just leads to the next map being picked pretty quickly, and it's Abyssal Reef, actually. Oh, it's the GSL version, too. So if you guys haven't been blessed, #blessed. Oh, this is the wrong lobby. The GSL version has, like, the colors toned down a little bit, so it's a little bit easier on the eyes. I don't know.
A little bit.
EU Vaftragener wants to know how late is to the broadcast. We are in the second semifinals, and then we've got a best of 7 after this. So, honestly, normally if we're in the semifinals, I'd say you're kind of late, but because these are such long series, especially the finals being a best of 7, you're probably here about halfway through the show.
Yes. That would accurately sum it up. Well done, well done. Well, I actually really just want to go through these cards now, so I'm going to make this an excuse to go over these cards.
Okay, well, we've got a minute.
Sure. Okay, so there's the nerd one and there's the sexy one. The nerd one actually has red flags. So I'm going to go with a couple of the good things, I guess. Owns real Pokemon. That's pretty good. And
that doesn't even sound like a bad thing at all. That's like...
No, these are the good things.
Oh, okay.
And is... Actually, some of these are really questionable. Owns a TARDIS, sure, for the Doctor Who fans out there. But then the bad ones include getting constantly kidnapped by Bowser and can only speak their name like a Pokemon. And, let's see here. Always holds the door, frowny face.
Oh, hold up. I'm having a quick hiccup here. Ryung lost that game, right?
Correct.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just said... for those who don't know, Zangrebai has a really awesome card game, which I gotta be honest, I hope we record some if we play again, because it is so ridiculous. But anyways, we are getting into game number 2, very fast game number 2, actually in this best of 5. We're on the GSL version of Abyssal Reef, and in the bottom right, we have the red Terran player, Ryung.
In the top left is the blue Terran. He is Psystorm Gaming's GuMiho.
What's interesting about this, though, and I'm actually curious, is does the GSL version of this map have the messed up Ravagers?
Good question. Well, we didn't just see it on Abyssal Reef, so it probably does.
Did we see it on another map? I actually don't recall.
We did, yes. It was like on Newkirk or something. I just remember it wasn't only Abyssal Reef.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Or maybe that was the one that only I saw. That's right. It was only one of them, so it wasn't as common as Abyssal Reef.
By the way, did you see the video equivalent of a shit post I made in regards to that?
I did, but I didn't really understand it. I couldn't hear it.
Oh.
Is that's the GIF one, right? Where you have like... Maybe I'm wrong. Which one did you do?
The Shooting Stars one on YouTube with Jesus
oh, okay,
David
then
Kim.
that was the wrong one, sorry. I haven't seen this one.
I liked it. It's like 30 seconds long. You guys should enjoy it. It was yesterday. If you missed the cast yesterday, we had ridiculously weird stuff that could not be explained happening on cast.
Oh, that song! I love this song, actually. I thought you were gonna go with, like, I don't know, I imagine some other, like, Reading Rainbow type stuff, you know? Reading Rainbow,
Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rain. No!
That's what I thought. Alright.
Alright, well, that first game, I really want to emphasize what we talked about before. That was a once-in-a-while game, is the best way I would describe that. The 2 Reaper Hellions, and sometimes it's the other way around, right? 2 Hellion Reaper, like, it can kill somebody, but rarely, if ever, do you find somebody with no wall and no Reapers of their own and just, like, no way to take that fight. And to really bring that home, too, like, to really emphasize this, if Ryung had gotten that shot on the Reaper and killed GuMiho's, and GuMiho only had 1 Reaper and 1 Hellion, that would have been totally manageable.
Yeah, it would have. It would have been 1 Reaper, 1 Hellion. Reaper probably goes in the mineral line, maybe gets an SCV, but that's really it, man. Like, it's so different. Ryung's gonna play a entirely different game. I want to be, like, I guess extra clear for someone who maybe doesn't play TvT or hasn't seen it that often, which would be surprising if you watch this channel. But the build that Ryung did was not the one that people usually do. Either you do open up with 2 Reapers while expanding, or you get a Cyclone while expanding. So
I thought you were going to follow that up with, like, for those who don't play TvT, you must live an excellent life with low blood pressure, and I'm jealous of you.
Yeah, kind of. But that's the thing, like, even if you do open up with only 1 Reaper as an expand, usually I follow up with a Cyclone, so he played dangerous, thinking that he could take on that Reaper, and he was unfortunately a little bit wrong. So I bring that up because we see right here that they both go for 1 base expands. Like, they actually go to starport first and then expand. And that's not... Like, Ryung didn't have to do this, but this is definitely something you would do if you were afraid GuMiho was going to either proxy racks you with Reapers or be super aggressive with his own one base. But they really just play both pretty defensive with it.
By the way, he's totally capable and willing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not like it's not a bad thing. And in general, in TvT, one base does not just purely mean like defensive. I'm scared. I mean, you can also do a lot of stuff with it. That's the point. Is like I think it also might have been some fear. As GuMiho is that type of guy.
Well, Ravens are coming out, and they are so freaking good. It was really cool, though, watching this. Again, I don't know that a lot of people are blessed in this weird way where if you do follow the casts we do all the time, then you got to see Innovation be the only one using 2 Ravens for a while, then Beyond kind of being convinced that it's an okay move, and then everybody falling in line shortly after. Like, that... It's a dumb way to phrase it, I guess, but the evolution of the 2 Raven meta for TvT was one that I didn't expect to take off, but was really cool to see because you could see each week a new pro would pick it up and be like, huh, this isn't so bad.
It's pretty good. And the double Raven really gives you a lot of options too. Like you can do siege pushes with it, like you see on Abyssal Reef.
That Time versus TY series, I'll never forget watching Time dismantle TY with Ravens on the front line because TY hadn't adapted to that playstyle yet.
And you can bust with the Cyclones here as what GuMiho is doing. And even if these survive, you can go and try and harass with them. But Ravens on Ravens on Ravens.
Turrets and turrets and turrets. It's a little bit awkward as the turrets end up taking each other out. But GuMiho may have lost his Ravens, but looks like he'll take out Ryung's as well. That Cyclone's last shot. Oh, barely not going to get it.
Yeah, nice repair, too, from that couple SCVs here. Viking lands, he's got the rest of the Cyclones. Ryung did lose 7 SCVs, and they both went for pretty similar builds, so it is just a straight-up loss for him. Now on 8 workers, but he does manage to keep a little bit more of his army alive.
Okay, so, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that trade-off there. Like, GuMiho threw away so much expensive units to kill a few amount of workers. Like 7 workers dead for the cost of 2 Ravens. I feel like if he had just auto-turret harassed casually through the game, he could have gotten way more than that. So this move for GuMiho I don't think was like all in your typical definition, but I think it was meant to do a lot more damage. So ultimately, I guess we'll put this in like the failure category, but like barely.
Kind of. It really has a lot of potential paired up evenly, or if Ryung had gone for tanks as opposed to Cyclones, the auditors would have obliterated them, and then like there really would not have been any defense. So it has the potential to do so much more than it did. But I don't think in any world you can call it a failure, though. Just because nothing is going badly for GuMiho here, despite that push. Well, I guess that's not true. He is down in army spot a little bit, but he's already maxed. He's already gotten back up with the Vikings.
Well, yeah, the Vikings actually will be pretty good. I like the Vikings a lot, actually. But the fact that he doesn't have a Raven is going to suck for sure. And this one Raven, of course, got about 2 auto turrets locked and loaded. So while he might have a Viking lead, they might also just die to the auto turret as well, which is really stupid to consider, but is actually a possibility. He might even go for point defense drone, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this means that his tanks won't be broken, so I think GuMiho's fine with that choice. Oh, this is annoying. His reactor's gonna fall. Ah.
That's a cool position because now you can camp the Vikings that are gonna spawn too. So maybe even better canceling. No, actually gets it at the back door. Okay.
He should lift and take the fight. Lift, and
Aziz lifts.
Okay. Well, he doesn't lift to save his starport, so it's actually just game. Jeez, wow.
You know, oh my God, what is she doing?
He really wants to play, so she's trying to find any excuse to do anything.
She's just like, everything is feeling so cool. She's grabbing onto like the blinds and the curtains.
Yeah. I really didn't think 10 army supply was going to be the difference maker there, but these games both pretty surprising.
I really don't know if it was the army supply. I really think it was like the Raven. Like it was just crazy how much of an influence that had to zone out. The tanks were there. The Viking count from Gumi should have done better. Well, anyways, we're gonna go to commercial break, guys. Zombie breaks everything. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes. All right, we're back, and we're gonna give you guys some special cat cam edition here in the corner of the screen because Zombie has been fighting with the cat. All right, spawning here in the bottom right. Things have been tied up now 1-1. We have the Red Terran player Ryung.
In the bottom left is the Blue Terran. He is GuMiho. Being GuMiho.
Yeah, we talked about this last game, something he's likely, and able to do. And, well, classic GuMiho. This could really punish Ryung, though, because even though you might in the back of your mind expect this, because, again, it's GuMiho, it still doesn't mean you can deal with it any easier. Oh my gosh, she's being so restless. This is hilarious.
She's gonna start chasing her tail soon. I hope you have it up.
Yeah, I got the camera.
Oh god. First she's gotta destroy the blinds.
Okay.
So right. 2x Reaper.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think in Europe we've been seeing some weird builds, like no Reapers, just multiple Rax Marines. That's not gonna cut it in TvT, so has to be Reapers.
Well, Ryung is going for a build that's going to work fine against it, though. Like, if he goes for 2 Reapers and then either scalps or just happens to go for a Cyclone, that basically does it. I mean, that did it before the Reapers were nerfed, but now that the Reapers can't even use the grenades that often, I mean, I've certainly had less trouble with proxy Reapers. I imagine Ryung won't have much trouble.
Okay, your cat is getting so cute, but I gotta hide her. She's distracting me now. Oh,
she's
Nugget!
ruining everything.
Goodbye. See you later.
Like she knew.
She literally calmed down the second I turned the camera off. That's amazing. Okay, she's inherited a little bit too much from Apollo. Anyways, I did want to turn it off because we were going to be watching the Reaper play come into effect now. And you mentioned, like, Ryung's build won't leave him defenseless. This wasn't greedy for a fast reactor. This wasn't like a Marine being pumped out. He'll have a little bit to fight with. But still, at the end of the day, like, GuMiho's going to have more Reapers, and that's going to give him a lot of power. And if Ryung goes for like a Hellion right off the bat, that's going to really suck. And it's a classic thing to go for. You don't really pump out a Cyclone unless you know this is coming.
So GuMiho knows he hasn't been scouted, so he's kind of actually just waiting for a second Reaper, which is pretty cool. If he catches Ryung with his Reaper scouting like this, then that's just one less to deal with at home. But one more to deal with in your main base, so we'll see what happens there. But Ryung did start a Hellion instead of a Cyclone.
And he gets the SCV that was built in the starport, so that's going to be delayed out. I mean, it's how many Reapers? It's 3 to 1. Even with that Hellion coming out, a little bit of splash damage, 3 to 2. You can catch this one on the side, go back up the main.
Ryung's actually going to stick with his Hellion defense as opposed to trying to fit in a Cyclone. Starts his starport up again, and he is getting 3 Reapers to chase 1.
Well, so this kind of works, though. GuMiho can't afford to let that 1 Reaper go across the map and pick away at what's back at home. So he's actually going to give up, lift everything, and pull back entirely. When I really thought he was going to go deeper and try and just end the game with the Reapers.
Yeah, if you could stall out their tech a little bit, that's one thing the Reaper proxy doesn't give you is fast tech. So you always fall behind on that starport. But he did delay it a little bit. Obviously forced Ryung to make maybe one more unit than he wanted to. And he's probably going to have a fine timing on his own starport. And, I mean, he's going to go defensive with it. He kind of has to. Get a Viking, deal with whatever comes out, whether it's a Liberator or a Banshee. I think it's Banshee from Ryung. He put it in Tech Lab on it after all. But, yeah, gonna have to say with Scan. Gonna be later to his command center, maybe. As Ryung will be on location.
Well, Ryung certainly got some cool potential with the Banshee coming up, but nice wall off means nothing really gets up here too easily. The grenade is gonna keep the Hellions from sitting and firing for too long. And yeah, I mean, there's not going to be, even with the Viking and the Cyclone, dealing with that Banshee, I don't think it's going to be an easy task at all. Also, this is getting so chaotic.
Yeah, that was definitely a mistake from GuMiho right there. Kind of sucks. But even with the Reapers potentially getting in here, they would be thwarted by the Cyclone anyways. Yeah, the Banshee might be trouble. Only a Viking and a Scan is not the most secure thing in the world. They dodge out of it once, and you're actually hurting, as his natural command center is not quite done. Is he going to go for any more? Well, he goes for second Banshee, but I meant, does GuMiho go for any more Vikings? Holding off on his starport for now, just doesn't have a gas for it.
Well, while we wait for this to kick off, I want to quickly get caught up on sub shutouts. So thank you, Yellow Stuff, for the 27 months. Don't remember if we got that one, but safe than sorry. But then Liquidity C was a 34-month resub during that last game. And then just moments ago, we had Vendethiel for 2 months back-to-back saying, Olimoleague, PogChamp.
It's clever.
It is.
Medevac, actually. Huh.
Well, so that's what's going to need. 3 Cyclones is really unconventional, but I'd say dropping 2 of them is more so.
Didn't he get Cloak?
He does have Cloak. I don't know what's going on here. Is this just
so
a sick bait?
I don't know. It's really nice to catch the Banshee without Cloak with the Viking, but that wasn't actually what happened there. This was the first Banshee. She took the long way around.
Oh,
it's gonna die now. Oh yeah.
Guys, I
That's
hope you
nice.
clipped that. That's the one time you'll ever see Cyclones kill an air unit.
When there's 3 of them and she accidentally went the wrong way first. Yep.
God, the air damage is so bad.
This is gonna be so good. Oh my god. GuMiho, I felt like took a risk here, but killing the Banshees like he did ends up being a perfect time for him to drop as Ryung's army moves out.
He didn't get the other one. He only got the one.
No, but he did. Like he caught the timing so well. This is moving out with the army, so it's brought back now. But
well, it goes for breaking the ramp, and a tank and 3 Cyclones are the biggest like defense you could hope to have in this situation. And GuMiho absolutely thwarts the attack. Ryung's feeling some pressure now, some pretty bad pressure too. SCVs are bleeding out. He can't quite deal with this medevac. There's not really any anti-air to speak of until those Vikings pop.
yeah. Oh, they did just pop, so gonna land. I don't know if it's. Wouldn't killing the medevac be more? Okay.
I'm kind of in that same boat, but I guess dealing with the Marines faster so he doesn't lose as many SCVs also makes sense because he did bleed 9 through this.
Down 4 workers. A little bit down in the army supply, but I think most importantly, Ryung is way behind on his stim and combat shields. And
Oh, wow,
upgrades.
yeah.
Way behind.
Stim's already done for GuMiho, of course, so the follow-up out of any Marines is already just going to be a lot of extra damage. With the combat shields on +1 is going to probably time out for by the time he gets across the map. That's going to be some really nice timing. Oh, but you know what? These 2 Vikings, if they go land in the mineral lines, these could actually do a lot of damage.
Too risky. Already production set up. Yeah. Ryung does have his units prepared at the front, even without these Vikings, so GuMiho's not gonna get like a free walk over here. But to the north is still a little bit vulnerable. You can siege up and deny their gas and a little bit of mining.
Well, I mean...
Well, eventually...
Yeah. Oh, hey, look at that! He shut down the gas already! That was quick!
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, you do usually want to get that 4th gas eventually, but Ryung now is going to lose that mining I was talking about. More important.
This is a tough spot, though, because GuMiho can't... There's not a lot further he gets in through this location, so he can't take advantage of his upgrade timings here. Like, +1, combat shield stim, that's huge. No way to really fight with it. Not here in this corner.
He still has that advantage, though, positionally and with a few more bio units. And we do have, I believe, like a medevac going to the main base, which Ryung is trying to prepare for.
You know what? I realize he's not repairing this command center. Ryung is like actually borderline going to lose that CC. There we go. There's the repairs. Jesus.
Not worth, and Vikings do pop out in the main base as well, so might just try to lose that. Well, lost the tanks, but also loses the medevac, I think. Sim is done for Ryung.
If he didn't just take that tank shot, he could have actually tussled with these Marines way better. As we can see, clean them up even after taking a bad hit.
Yeah. Okay, so Ryung holds, despite his severe disadvantages in stim and combat shields, but GuMiho still has a bigger army with better upgrades for like 30, 45 more seconds at 1-1 versus 0-0, and has control over the map, so he can take his 3rd base. Oh, get it. Oh, get it. He got it. The Banshee's gonna do much else anyways.
So it's not 2 Ravens, it's just 1. Patrolling Vikings gonna guarantee drops won't be a problem, but I think the problem still persists where GuMiho A has an army supply lead by a pretty significant amount. Has B, the base can be on location, so that's nice. 3rd base, hype. But most importantly, like that 1-1, it's not gonna be here. Like GuMiho has missed 2 different opportunities to have these huge upgrade timings in his favor. And that's not like, oh my god, what a bad player, but it's just really unfortunate he hasn't been able to take advantage of it, because rarely do you find yourself 1-1 above your opponent, much less stim and combat shields above your opponent, right?
Yeah, not able to take advantage of in this game. Well, kind of. As his 3rd base is on location, his opponent's is not, it's gonna probably stay that way for a while longer. Ryung just does not have a good enough army. In fact, Ryung is such a much smaller army. He's only real, like solvable situation here is that he's gonna have to just drop, and it might work. He does have Viking control and Ravens or defense drones, and it could just work defensively with this drop. But GuMiho has a Marine scouting it as it went to the north, not to the south.
It's a very nice catch, and the Marine actually gets out of there too.
Yeah.
Run, Forrest, run!
Ryung is definitely caught in a very difficult situation here. He can't really do anything. The drops are seen. If he went to the south, there's a Viking even for GuMiho still set up. Again, that's where the Vikings and the Raven could like protect the medevac drop, but he'd have to potentially lose out in his defense of his mana natural. He's gonna try and go for it, but he is still 40 armor supply down.
Tank set up, and I guess on one hand, if GuMiho can control this ramp, this third base, you don't need to kill the third if nothing can transfer over to it. Nothing can start mining from it. So a soft contain out of GuMiho is really not a bad option in this scenario. But oh, he goes to the command center. He's gonna dive for this too. There's no SCVs nearby, and he knows it. But it's not worth losing all those Marines.
Yeah, a little scary.
But this is tough for Ryung because he really needs that third. The longer GuMiho gets to mine off of this, the more his army's gonna continue to grow and grow and grow. Ryung's trying to go for Liberators right now, which I think is a really interesting choice. He has air control. He knows this. He's had it for a while. So to try and push off the tanks with Liberators, not a bad idea.
A very smart idea, really. It's sometimes very difficult to do. It's worth even like 20 Marine losses in this situation if you can snipe the Liberators and continue keeping your hold. Now, GuMiho did lose that Viking that was to the south, so Ryung could maybe get away with a big enough drop. There's a center tower, of course, but maybe GuMiho continues committing to the soft contain and doesn't even have units despite knowing that it's on the way. Lose a tank, lose a couple Marines, willy-nilly. Ryung slowly pushing out here, and he did start 2-2, whereas GuMiho did not.
Well, this also forces those Marines to dive for the Liberators, meaning they're in tank fire, whereas Ryung's were not. So now there's not a lot of buffer left for GuMiho. Ryung wraps around the south side, but through all of this, still the third CC is not mining. So, like, mission accomplished. You trade it out for army, but is this enough to follow through and win the game with? Because he certainly doesn't have money. That much is for certain.
Ryung's gonna take his third base now.
And even then, GuMiho's keeping up the pressure. So, like, yeah, he breaks the soft contain, but
his Marines really aren't going to be that great anymore. He made, I think, a big mistake here, thinking he could maybe just win the game, going for more and more Marine production as opposed to just taking like 30 seconds of minerals and gas and putting it into minerals. Actually, he's got enough gas. Minerals into 2-2. Oh well, he's going to snipe the base.
That works too, but this is going to cost him a lot of army to snipe the base. These medevacs are on the red. Flying out of here might not be an option.
I feel like he could have saved it too. Like, those guys were pretty close, and he wasn't target firing it.
Yo, I can't believe those medevacs got out alive. They've all been sitting here in red cherry health for so long.
Well, that is absolutely true, but GuMiho might be in a problematic state now. He's down 3 upgrades actually with the +1 vehicle weapons done, and he needs to hold on to his own third.
Well, he's got his own Liberators too, so this will help out a little bit, I guess. But, oh man, these medevacs are so fragile. I'm waiting for them all to just get picked off one at a time by like random shots.
That's not gonna work out. Not enough Marines to buffer for his tanks. Enough tanks to buffer for his tanks, I guess.
Yeah, he's gonna Doom Drop on top of the tanks. I call it a Doom Drop. It's gonna take out the tanks. This will help break some of the siege. This is a way to take a fight when you don't have that army. But unfortunately, GuMiho's sacrificing a lot. Most of his army supplies in medevacs that are almost dead.
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think he's a goner.
Oh my God, Ryung, so sick. I gotta tell you, I don't know about how a pro player feels in this position, but anytime I get contained, whether it's a soft contain, a hard contain, I'm at that point where I'm just like, fuck it, I just want to leave this game. I don't want to try and break this. I don't want to play this game.
Yeah, I know that feeling too. And it was even more bizarre that it wasn't broken by a Doom Drop or even like really obvious dumb mistakes. Like Ryung just had a nice slow push, and GuMiho also, well, I think he thought he was gonna win, man. I don't know why else you would skip those upgrades.
Oh my God, this double-sided tape is garbage. I'm so sick of putting this thing back on. I love my Squirtle, but it sucks. All right, well, next game on the way, Cactus Valley. Of course, that reminder here that this is a best of 5.
Yeah.
Tape. I'm just gonna put a ton of tape on this thing. Here's how I'm gonna fix my problem, guys.
Nugget. Hello. Hi.
What is that position she has taken?
I wonder if she's gonna lose, because I feel like kittens universally, it looks like their limbs aren't attached to their body. But then when they become cats, they're a little more reserved, I suppose.
She's just so cute. It's been so long since I've had a kitten.
Yeah, she's the oldest kitten we've ever adopted. She's cute. She's a cutie patootie.
I'm glad she's getting along well. I was actually really worried for you because like I had such a bad experience with my cats not getting along, and they still don't to this day. So it's cool that Apollo's adjusting to her and that she's being super duper cuddly and cute.
It is pretty cute because Apollo very clearly wants to have a friend. Like he wants to play and he wants to cuddle, but Nugget's kind of like, you know, like you're bigger than me and I don't want to play as much. And
yeah. Give me a couple years, dude.
Yeah, basically. So it's so cute sometimes.
Oh, big brother, little brother, or big brother, little sister.
Yeah, I feel less bad actually. I legitimately thought about this. I feel less bad about moving or going to Korea for 2 months.
Because Apollo has someone behind. Yeah.
Yeah. What's that? I'm leaving? You don't want me to? Okay.
Alright, well, we're going to hop into Cactus Valley. This is the last life of GuMiho.
Yeah, didn't expect that. Considering the positions that GuMiho has had in the 2 games that he lost. You wouldn't think Ryung would have... Actually, I would have thought Ryung would have been 3-0'd. No.
Well, as I had said, I think on the very first intro of the day, this guy recently has been quite good at TvT. And with the 2-1 lead spawning here in the top left, it's the red Terran player Ryung.
In the bottom right, as the blue Terran, he is GuMiho.
Unfortunately, I cannot present you guys a cat cam this game as Nugget has left.
Left the building. She actually left my room.
Has she figured out doors yet?
Not really. I mean, she just left right now, but in a very awkward way. So she has figured out that it can open, but she doesn't get the idea of pulling from the bottom wide enough to fit your body through. So she pulls from the side like half an inch and then sticks her head in and squeezes herself out.
Yeah, that's how my cats learned to open doors too, though. It was like you would just kind of... Millie still does this too, where she'll stand up, like not fully like on her hind legs, but she'll stand up and then just kind of lean against the door and let the leverage of her body falling through gravity push open the door. Yeah,
it used to be so annoying, in fact, because Baby used to be so good at it. And before I like had my automatic, closing door, she would open the door completely, like in the morning when my parents are getting ready or something. And I'd always hate it because she never learned how to open doors like a polite cat. But Nugget's the opposite.
Knocks on the door. Meow meow. Is it safe to come in?
It's Baby, okay? She's the loud one, remember?
Right,
like she definitely isn't
meow
polite.
meow. Is it safe to come in?
She is by far the loudest. Like, like you wake up and you try and be like quiet and nice to your roommates or your parents, and they never seem to do the same thing, but you want to. I'm trying to be all nice and quiet this morning, and Baby's like, meow! Meow! The voice crack and everything. I'm like, jeez, oh, flip. She thinks I'm gonna feed her, and I'm not. Alright, enough about cats. It is Cactus Valley cross spawn, and we do have GuMiho going for a 1 base expander, as Ryung might be putting on a little bit more pressure with the 1 base.
Actually, I have a cat story while we wait for this to pick up. Along those lines.
You go.
So we would fight about this for years, and I never understood why until actually this past weekend when I went home to get my dentist stuff done. But what happens is our cat food bowls were in front of the cabinet that we kept the food in. So basically you would open the door, you'd take the cat food out, right? Close the door, put food in the bowls. But then you couldn't really open the door to put the cat food back because the cats would start eating and you didn't want to knock them out of the way. So I would always leave the cat food on the counter. And I guess for years this really bothered my mom, and she like finally freaked out at me about it. And I was just like, what do you want me to do? Like, slam the door against their heads. Out of the way, guys. We got to put the food away. But I didn't realize this was an issue for years because she couldn't figure out why. She thought it was just like, why do you always leave that on the counter like some sort of jerk? And I'm just like, because I don't want to disrupt them while they're eating. Like, you don't see me push your food out of the way. Anyways,
that's pretty cute.
Cat stories and anecdotes aside, I guess for both of us now, as I thought for certain Ryung was going to get going real hard, real fast. But unfortunately, still it's not quite scouted where his opponent is. So can't really blitz to the other side of the map. And by the time he does, GuMiho's likely going to have 1 and probably 2 Ravens out.
Yeah. I kind of love that so often we see pro gamers not SCV scout because you really don't want to. It's not like I'm calling it a problem, but because in, you know, the non-professional TvT Korean leagues, 1 SCV doesn't really matter. I never have this problem, you know, and it's so funny to see them have it.
I just don't like doing it because I'm bad at it.
Are you bad at SCV scouting?
Well, if you remember I was playing Archive mode, I would always get the last scout, like in the last base, like every single time.
Oh man, I don't know what it is about Brood War, but I swear I just have the worst luck. So I thought about it, and I do play 4-player maps on Brood War a lot more because I play the same map over and over, Fighting Spirit. But I swear to God, I always scout the wrong direction first.
Yeah, I've got a bad case of that. I can't recall a time where I went like lucky and got the first one.
Okay, we don't play Protoss, right?
Well, I have started vetoing the 4-player maps, not because they're bad, but because I just get so mad at scouting. Anyways, Vafty, who I'm assuming is the gentleman in chat whose name I could never say correctly, just tweeted us a picture of his cat, kind of blocking him out from watching the game. But your cat is real pretty, dude.
Oh, they talking about like Norwegian forest cat or whatever? Yeah! I like that one.
I just hit that favorite real hard.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, well, Ryung may have been later to his natural, but a little bit faster to his third. And I guess for all intents and purposes of like that 1 base opening, it's not actually going to lead to anything too crazy and significant. The army supplies are kind of similar. Nobody really has upgrades. Like there's no stim combat shield timing.
So the fact that I say Out the Wild Zoo is forgivable, right? Because I don't say for all intensive purposes.
But it's intents and purposes.
Exactly. I'm saying that it's forgivable because I don't mess up the most commonly messed up one, which is intents and purposes.
This isn't like 2 wrongs make a right. That's not.
No, it's not. It's 1 wrong is like evened out by 1 right. Duh.
No, it's still,
yes.
They don't cancel each other out.
Yes, they do. One's much worse than the other.
You're still wrong though. At the end of the day. Whatever. You know what? You're right, Zombie. You're right. Good job. You figured it out.
Well, Out the Wild Zoo and Out the Wazoo is just like, they both don't really mean a lot. Where intensive purposes just doesn't make any sense.
Intensive purposes sounds like a medical ward in a hospital or something. Intensive care, intensive purposes for care. Anyways, good defense out of GuMiho. It wasn't really much to talk about because that was an auto turret battle. That's all that really came down to.
Well, exactly, right? Like, it could have been something to talk about because if GuMiho's units were out of position and it was really just the tanks, then they just get obliterated and he's actually in a world of trouble. But he had every unit in the right position or close enough to it that it didn't really matter. And while Ryung takes a bit of a loss in the army supply, he's looking fine in the economy.
Ooh, this is a real nice auto turret drop, though.
Uh-oh.
Even gets that mule right at the very end. All right, 8 workers is not too bad. Also, Rob Athari hitting us up with a 34-month reset. Keep on keeping on. Thank you kindly, sir. Right back at you. 10 workers dead by the end of this.
Yeah. And GuMiho is pushing across the map. He has that army supply lead. He has +1, and he has stim, and is probably going to have combat shields. A time he gets into a good position. So this is a very scary time for Ryung. Needs to hold on, and then his production will start kicking in. He does have 5 barracks to 3, so he really is just about that time buying. Yeah. Yeah, I love how Apollo is like making sure Nugget's not in the hammock before he jumps up. Yeah, I know. Okay.
This is a kind of cool spot for tanks to siege up. I like this. That's not going to be in range of the command center, though, is it? That's a little bit too close.
No, if it was, it would be a much more abusive spot for Terrans, I think.
Yeah, so we'd see people use this a lot more. But even then, just 2 tanks on the high ground covering 2 tanks on the low ground is not too bad. Vikings taking some pepper, but it's giving them the vision that the tanks need to actually shoot and fight. A couple SCVs go down, but oh, the Vikings landing may have been like a pretty big mistake, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely, you see that thought process, and you're like, it's going to turn out great, and then it just turns out okay. That doesn't matter, it looks like just too many Marines for GuMiho.
Yeah. This is crazy, so this might just go to game 5 at this rate. Ryung's already falling behind, and yeah, there's the tap out. GG. All right, well, game number 5 on the way. I guess we'll just send ourselves to a break to not waste time, and see you guys here in 2 minutes. All right, we're going to hop directly into game. I'm really sad, though. I'm going to make a call out for this. You guys can call it pandering. You guys can call it selling out. You can call it disgusting if you'd like. But I think it's a goddamn shame that Dares was able to snipe the Bit Boss for 1 health, and nobody has dethroned him yet. This guy spent 1 health after getting carried by Nexikuro. I am disappointed. I actually tried to during the break snipe him off myself, but apparently you cannot cheer bits in your own channel, is what I have learned.
Makes sense. Because it would make no sense. Hey.
Yep. Ah, clever. That took me a moment.
There it is.
I was like, she wouldn't be proud of this if there wasn't something intended there. Okay, thank you, Vagrant Story. What's up, man? How you doing? Gives my name all caps. I like it. It's got purpose. We got map number 5 underway. Things are tied up now 2-2, and in the bottom left we've got Storm Gaming's GuMiho.
In top right is the red Terran. These guys keeping their colors. It is Ryung.
Now I'm feeling a little bit bad actually for everybody involved at this point. With so many ace matches through these best of 5s, this means that best of 7 is going to start late and possibly go long. I think most Olimoleagues are finishing up right around now. I don't have any complaints because for me, this is our sweet spot. This is when like our European friends are waking up or being awake, getting off work. Our American friends are waking up. Like, I'm cool with the best of 7 going as long as possible. But I'm actually shocked that we've had the cast go this long with so few series overall.
Yeah, I think the potential for very short cast is definitely there for the Olimoleague, and especially the monthly finals, because if it really is just 3-0, 3-0, it's like, okay.
It's over fast, yeah.
Yeah, but it has been 3 hours, so.
And it's gonna be a really interesting finals too. I really don't know who I want. Like, I think for me, GuMiho has probably got the better TVP, slightly, not by much, of the 2 of these guys, so has a chance to make the series versus Hurricane go longer. Whereas Ryung, I don't know where his TvT sits. I know that it was pretty good for a period of time. We actually saw a big resurgence of him taking some good games a while ago, but I just feel like all we've seen out of Ryung is TvT.
Well, yeah, that's what he's really good at. Yeah, I think for Ryung, I've always had a very stable confidence in his TvT. After all, he was specifically a TvT sniper for a long time, both Slayers and Axiom, and even after that. But his TvZ and his TvP have always been, I think, a little more on the either it's really great or it's not very impressive. And of course, Ryung did have like 1.5 years where just in general he wasn't that impressive. He wasn't really participating that much.
Hey, I gotta put the camera in you. I just spilled some stuff. I gotta clean it real quick.
Oh, that's funny because you kind of sound like you had a eureka moment, not like a oh shit moment.
That was an oh shit moment.
Anyways, brief like history of Ryung aside. Right now, currently, I think I have more faith in GuMiho with TVP. He's just been looking really good in it. Even if he's lost the series, that, you know, the high-profile series in SSL or whatever, I just think he put like a better fight than a lot of other Terrans. But who knows? I feel like the Adept nerf did actually change things. Like, the Adept still gets kills, but it seems like more pros are willing to experiment more with robo-play and, you know, what Zest was doing with masked gateway play and all that type of stuff. Masked, not masked. Anyway, that's for later. TvT going down here. It is Proxima. That was the last map available, so no one really chose this. Not really. And I think there's actually a bit of a stigma against it. Maybe not stigma is the right word. I feel like some Terran players just don't really like it on TvT, right? Because it's clever. Guarantees that GuMiho couldn't leave. Very cool there. But it really does come down a lot to a Doom Drop map. You know, like, okay, you don't want Paladino because that might be the proxy Reaper map, or multiple Reaper map, because you don't have to proxy on that map. But Doom drops are also really annoying, and there is a lot of space on Proxima for that, so might just explain why this was the last map, despite being very easy to 2, even 3 bases. One of mine instantly KO'd. Nicely done by Ryung. GuMiho just gonna take his medevac and leave, it looks like. Now GuMiho did go for... Oh no, that's actually Ryung, sorry. Ryung went for a faster stim. GuMiho is still building from a reactor and bare factory, bare starport. So that will be something in Ryung's favor here. Ryung not only getting stim, but also double Vikings. Alright. Maybe, not really hiding them, of course, just looking for that medevac that did actually just end up dropping and staying still. Vikings come forward, Cyclones come forward. I don't think he could ever bust the ramp, but maybe he's tempted. This is just a Reaper over here, not too much to deal with there. 2 Vikings to 2 Vikings, but the Cyclone's gonna lock on, and that is some pretty important damage. Tank is actually on the low ground on that ramp, in fact. That's like a little scary, but a second tank to back it up and a Raven. Yeah, there's no way that GuMiho's gonna break that. Not a chance, and he is also in danger of just losing his Vikings, which is exactly what's gonna happen here. Auto turret is put down to ensure that his Vikings survive, although the target fire on the Raven, that was nicely done by GuMiho, who manages also save both of his Cyclones. That does make it into a pretty okay situation, where otherwise it was looking quite bad for GuMiho, who just had to completely retreat.
Yeah, I'm back at the camera, thanks. Prognosticator, hey, 5 months. Very much. Thanks to you, sir. Says 5 already. Breaks are entirely off the life train. Next stop, Madrid, Spain. Yo, that sounds like a 6 spot to go. Have a good time. The attack commences here in the middle of the map. GuMiho, this is going to be kind of interesting. He should take out the tanks, but I think he'll lose everything to the Vikings, right? Turns around to the Vikings instead, so doesn't get the tanks, doesn't get the Vikings, and Ryung walks over him in that fight.
That was very, very interesting. That was just before Ryung's stim had finished. There doesn't really have a lot of Marines to utilize that upgrade lead, but he does have tanks and Vikings, the ultimate positional unit duo. That's what I'm looking for, and he is going to just start hammering away at GuMiho's main. He would have to be worried about a drop if GuMiho had actually gotten for stim and combat shields, but he sees with his Vikings 2 tech labs still researching.
Yeah, you know
and
what?
Well, that could be 90% or 10%. I think the point is, there's not going to be drop.
I was really hoping he was just going to land the Vikings on the tank. I thought he could have taken that out real easy, but either way, he'll get a barracks for this? No? What?
Close. He didn't want to risk the starport production, I suppose.
Maybe, but still, 4 Vikings to what would have been like 2. He's going to kill a lot that comes down that ramp. Those Vikings get blown away. This still ends up being really nice for Ryung. Like a really good trade.
Oh yeah, for sure. It maybe could have even lasted longer had he landed those Vikings, but that's neither here nor there. He still got the leads off of it. That is the 3rd base actually going down on location. He still has the faster stim, although I think it looks like they're going to even up. But Ryung has the +1 armor already on the way. 3rd base already done. Like, he certainly has his leads.
Man, so like Prognosticator, oh, nice mule drop. Just brought up the whole thing with Spain. And I know Nate was trying to talk me to go to like DreamHack Spain, like just to hang out. Like, I guess Spain's the place to be, question mark? Have you ever been?
No. Oh, I know why he was trying to do that, right? Because he loves that DreamHack. What Valencia is where it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says it's the most amazing place ever. I was wondering, because I would never pin Nate to be the type of guy to convince someone to internationally travel.
I think it's just what he wants people to hang out with while he's there.
Well, that, plus I think he actually is like actually quite fond of the town, so it's not like bringing you to Krefeld, right? Please save me from this misery.
I love that TLO like pre-apologized on behalf of Krefeld before we even went.
I know, right?
All right, well,
magic could be happening.
Magic's
happening! Oh my god!
Am I supposed to be showing cat
cam? Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh, they're hanging out together. This literally never happens.
Nugget. I love... Nugget just forced herself on here, man. She's like, okay, we're cuddling now.
Well, then she's like, okay, Mom's enjoying this too much, so let's cut it out.
Yeah, right?
It's getting weird. Mom's making it weird. All right, well, Zyreb's cats might be being adorable. We'll check in with them again after the game, but I thought GuMiho was going to keep up the pressure. He kind of just put the brakes on, I guess. I was looking to see if there's like a big counterattack or like something that spooked him, but not really. And Ryung, in the meantime, has set up these really nice sensor tower placements, so I don't think there's going to be any drops that'll be super surprising. And that might be part of why GuMiho doesn't want to move in anymore, and I don't blame him for that, but both players on similar work accounts, similar army supply, similar upgrades, and most importantly, the income has leveled out once again, because Ryung, of course, had a big spike for a while.
Right. Yeah, very, very much so a macro game on Proxima. 3 base, sensor towers, missile turrets. Give me a little bit later to a stack defense, but I don't think Ryung's going to be really taking advantage of that too hard here. No huge doom drops on the way. Thank you to Electron Hammer for the 20-month resub. Cats freak me out. Cats freak me out. I'm not kidding. Chat, furs one if you're feeling me. Hatpa. I hate myself.
That was pretty clawsome.
Oh.
Is it possible to put more puns in there?
I guess it is.
All right, we got a pretty interesting drop setup. This is in the sensor tower, though. So this is, I almost feel like a fake out of Ryung. Like, hey, get scared, pull your army back, deal with me. And if he doesn't, then, well, Ryung can actually do damage with this. It's not like a total bluff. But I don't think this was meant to be, like, more than a look over here.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it is only the drop, so it never should deal a ton of damage. Unless it is paired up with something else or just simply catches GuMiho without noticing it. And he doesn't have the sensor towers that Ryung does, so it's possible he would have lost track of these medevacs, so the Viking finds them and actually shoots them away.
Well, the boost will get out of there, so it shouldn't be too bad. There's that army, though, looking to intercept this. I mean, the sensor tower gives GuMiho full ideas of where this is at all times. For those who don't know, I guess you've never played Terran versus Terran Denver sensor tower. That's what it looks like. So, like, you can see where the army units are moving.
Mm-hmm. Sets up a tank. This is like a very odd place for a tank. It doesn't really help out with anything besides this drop, and it is, you know, a full tank, which is a sizable part of your army usually. But it's worth not to worry about it.
I like this because the way this works out, Ryung's the one who actually has control over the ramp with his positioning. So yeah, GuMiho's, he's just gonna go elsewhere and say it's not worth taking a fight down there for any reason whatsoever. But the drops pick up, and we'll see. I guess gonna skirt around. There's a lot of turrets though. Not
over here. Proxima has so much space behind the bases. Easy peasy, in fact, as the Viking was also, well, not being controlled. GuMiho is paying a lot of attention on the front lines. And this is the potential.
Double unloads. This could kill the command center. This could kill the engineering base. This could stop +3 armor.
Yeah, all those things were a possibility, but GuMiho did manage to have just enough reinforcements, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, looks like it.
That being said, Ryung, of course, now can try and take position on this side of the map. Tanks advance forward. GuMiho and him both siege up similar times. I think this is going to hurt Ryung a little bit more than it hurts GuMiho.
A little bit of micro there from GuMiho, as he did want that concave on the tanks to do something. Couldn't really capitalize anymore. Upgrades still pretty even, but GuMiho is about to have +2 on his tanks. Marine drop got to the main and managed to kill quite a few more SCVs, but really they're both getting close to maxed out, and I think that's not too bad. You do SCVs.
So he's going to have like a planetary on deck with a new command center next to it. I really like Ryung's position behind this, because GuMiho is kind of in this awkward spot where he's going to be on about 1.5 mining bases, but then he doesn't have a 4th and a 5th setup like Ryung. But this also creates a vulnerability spot, so a big drop comes over here to try to catch him on the right side. Planetary is only about halfway done, but looks like Ryung should be able to hold this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a huge loss for GuMiho.
It is. I mean, GuMiho still has a decent army supply, and again, those upgrades have already been invested into, just not the tanks, but the Marines still. But right, that 4th base is a major problem. GuMiho now knows it's there, and, well, he could try and tear Ryung apart, you know, drop to the left in the top and drop to the 4th base. Ryung already has, like, a missile turret ring, and, of course, that 4th should be planetary, so I don't think he has to worry about drops. This is just an orbital floating on over here, but it is going to take the gold, and GuMiho needs minerals.
The gold's an interesting choice, actually, considering his position in the game at the moment.
I think it makes a lot of sense for his literal position in the game. His army was right here.
Literally. Literally.
Literally.
Well, so what was kind of interesting was last time we saw this sort of contain come into play. We saw Liberators come out, right? But this time around, there's been a consistent amount of Vikings. So I don't know that GuMiho can afford to go Liberators like he did before. Actually, both players did go Liberators in that Newkirk game, thinking on it too.
Yeah, they did. Ryung trying to find some good position.
Well, it's 97 Marines to 60. GuMiho certainly has the army numbers.
It's a nice concave for GuMiho.
Well, those were numbers are just gonna sweep on through like a zombie apocalypse. My God!
Like game over. That's 70 army supply advantage now for GuMiho.
I mean, part of that is like Ryung should have. He's been scanning. They've been looking at each other consistently. He should have known that he was outnumbered, but I don't think anyone expected that Stim force to push through the tanks so easily. It was like a wave crashing on the beach shore. You just couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
Tide goes in and tide goes out. You can't explain that.
It was pretty bad. I mean, those were even tanks with +2. They're supposed to be pretty strong. Funnily enough, he has like Marines pre-lifted for tanks, to drop on tanks. But as I said, the main base is definitely covered. Not much chance for GuMiho to send the medevacs through there. Ryung does still have more bases, and given time, he will make up that army supply. But it's 60 supply down, man. Like he has to depend on his tanks being scary enough.
Yeah, he's got to get that time, which is so tough. And this command center was bold in the first place. It's it's gone, it's blued up.
GuMiho has some units on the gold base too, so no sneaky orbital liftoff for Ryung. GuMiho actually transferred his natural to the other base.
Yeah, we are at that time though where really Ryung should be doing that himself too, like whether it's the gold or otherwise. I think the reason he's hesitant to take the gold though is because he is spreading himself on the right side, and expanding that way plus the gold would spread himself really thin between the bases. So yeah, it took some time to decide to take that gold, but it's kind of getting to that necessity point. I think he would have preferred this base much more.
Yeah, again with the way these guys have been positioning around each other. But gonna have to deal with having the gold, which at least he did deny the scouting of. Oh, just kidding. Marine's gonna run over there and scout it. And GuMiho, I mean, he might not be able to break that. As long as Ryung has eyes on GuMiho's army, he is close enough to his gold to swap between his gold and his, natural, I guess, kind of fourth as well. And he managed to get maxed out again. It's back to an even state. GuMiho just has a bigger bank.
That stim, though, was real nice just now. I think what's kind of interesting, though, there's this interesting dynamic for GuMiho where we haven't really talked about this much, right? But he's got less workers, so he's got more army supply. And that's going to put him up about 20 or so over Ryung. I mean,
that is very true.
We talk a lot about tanks being a really important part of this matchup, but the thing is 100 Marines to 67. Again, you're just going to be like this wave washing over Ryung at this rate.
Well, I was going to go for it. It was only 3 tanks?
Yeah.
Damn.
Not a planetary. Oh, Ryung's going to try and position himself. Man, these guys got so many sensor towers on the map. It's actually kind of distracting to look at the mini-map.
It is. It is very distracting. That one is so weird from GuMiho, but it is GuMiho's. Ah, base goes down. That leaves Ryung with only 2 orbitals.
I was going to get a Liberator try to set up, though, and if he can cover that Liberator with those tanks, yeah, the Marines will have trouble stimming underneath it to take it out.
Yep, gonna get 1 tank, I believe. Oh, the pickup was nice. So now lifting his natural over to this gold base. And he does have enough minerals to build another command center, which I think would be a good move. Like, not even just for a planetary, but just to have 3 orbitals, as GuMiho does. GuMiho finally invested into a real new command center, though, and is turning that into a planetary. Ryung's finally going to try and get some damage done. I mean, this is a large army. You got to figure they don't have that much back at home.
Well, they've become a little bit more even. So, you know, Ryung is down tanks, and that kind of sucks. But that's where the Viking advantage comes into play. You start sniping off medevacs, you got vision, preference, yada, yada, yada. But the Marine count is closer to even, which I think is a bigger deal. Because GuMiho really has had some A-move tricks up his sleeve, I guess you could say.
It's not...
That's bad.
Clearly, tanks don't hold, so...
Yeah, you need something in front of them.
I think Ryung did have a drop, and I think it was just cleaned up really easily. That kind of sucks. I mean, as I said, GuMiho has mostly orbitals for his bases. But man, didn't do anything.
Yeah, just 1 flag right down there. Gold forced to lift up once again. I mean, Ryung's not out of money yet. He's not in dire straits. This base being denied is not the end of the world. but it's still not a good thing either. And man, GuMiho's tank count just continues to climb. Ryung's actually starting to get like triple Liberator production, which I think is really interesting. I love the pickup of the tanks too. Much faster to do it this way with the command center might go down for it, and that's going to be pretty rough to replace.
One orbital.
That actually supply blocks him too.
That's kind of funny. He is maxed out, so again, maybe investing into another orbital would not be, you know, a bad move. This game could still go on for a while, technically, with pretty even army supplies.
I wonder what it would look like if Ryung just started pulling the boys. I mean, there's a lot of idle SCVs that are just not going to be efficient. He's already oversaturated like crazy here. He's got these SCVs.
Oh, the fight goes down the middle of the map.
Oh, the liver set up on the tanks.
Yeah, don't see this too often. All those tanks are going to die, man.
Yeah, well, you know, this ends up being a surprisingly good fight for Ryung. I'm actually blown away by this.
Well, he caught GuMiho without the tanks already sieged, and the Marines were also running away, so it really was the best opportunity possible for Ryung. But is it enough? GuMiho only finds down about 20 workers, and, you know, the Vikings and medevacs are included in that army supply, so unless the Vikings are useful, you know, like they're actually giving sight or they land, they could just be dead weight. GuMiho's just gonna run around. I mean, he did notice how few Marines there were. Viking medevac tank is basically what Ryung's got.
God, that long distance mining into a base that just lands that might go down. Ryung has to pull back to deal with this. Well, he may have for a very temporary amount of time secured an army supply lead. He needs money. He needs money badly. Losing this base would be too costly.
No missile turret right there. Everywhere else but there.
I know, like literally everywhere else too. So this ends up being a little bit difficult to clean up. He's got to focus on the medevac. While this goes on, though, he's not fully pulling back. He's posturing in the middle, like he wants to go, he wants to come back, he wants to go, he wants to come back. I think at some point he's just going to decide to go for it. When he does, maybe he catches GuMiho's base. As you kept pointing out, these are mostly orbital. So while to an extent this has been good because he's needed less SCVs, he's had those mules and those scans, well, it means they're not planetaries. He needs some sort of defense for the actual base.
Yeah. Well, this is apparently how this game's gonna end. 22 minutes, and it does end up ultimately with a base trade. But you know, like you said, those command centers are pretty important.
I love these Vikings. They wreck mechanical units.
Very nice.
So the tanks will go down so quick to the Vikings.
And they live too. You know, like taking them out of dead zone. This is some pretty important stuff. GuMiho might still end up losing this game despite what was the overwhelming army supply lead he had.
He actually can't kill a planetary. He doesn't have tanks. Like, these could trade out for all these buildings, and then they come down to planetaries, and Ryung won't lose that planetary.
He's building tanks right now to hold on to his main base, and that one has been there since, like, 8 minutes in this game. That's going to be surprisingly helpful. I think he holds this? No, waiting. Oh, it's tough.
Missile
but if he can hold
just
this...
killed a bunch of medevacs, by the way.
Oh, that's important.
GuMiho's down to 3 medevacs, and 2 are here.
I think that's what triggered Ryung to go back with his army of Marines, realizing that they're going to stim again, and then his would just absolutely slaughter them.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is that it's not going to be easy to break these tanks. Even if you drop Marines on top of them, there's a threat that the medevac gets picked off by those Vikings. So this is a really weird, dire straits situation, but Ryung keeps a lot of his production alive. He's still mining off of a planetary, but it is worth noting that is like his only command center. So like at some point, he might go broke.
What is happening?
I don't know. Why did that just happen?
Well, GuMiho does save that medevac.
Yo, meanwhile, Vikings looking for the snipes. He knew the Marines would pick up and try something. Ooh, this is a funky situation. He never killed the base up here. Does Ryung never scouted? No, he knows there's a base up here. I'm surprised he never went for it.
Yeah, funnily enough, that was like the one drop he tried in the late game, and it died to the missile turret.
This is going to be really funny, actually. Drops in the middle for drops and drops and drops. It goes better for GuMiho. GG takes the series 3-2 with an unpredicted fight being the determining factor.
Okay.
I thought for a moment, by the way, this would come down to, like, he drop around the orbital, but the orbital was mined out, so tricks on you. I don't know. But, okay, so that's going to be GuMiho going through to the finals. Ryung played really well, but congratulations to GuMiho.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to remember who wins. On to the finals.
Yeah,
on to face hurt.
GuMiho and Hurricane, I think, is going to be a really good TvP. I think I do favor Hurricane right now, but maybe GuMiho has had pretty good PvT in the past, but lately it's not been looking so good. So I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. We're gonna go to commercial break. Ow, I just like stabbed myself with a stupid spinner. And we'll see you guys here in a couple minutes. Thanks for watching.